What's up, everybody? This is Training Race, otherwise known as the Obsessed Compulsive Gamer, the O.C.G. And I'm here playing Lava Poo. Alright, I'm gonna take 7 more sips of the strength and I'm done. The water for right now. And everybody give me just a ditto. Now let me make sure I'm live. Oh, yeah. Well, it looks like I am live. Swoop. Anxiety. That's one of the ways I cope. Okay.
Not you. Not like this. This wasn't supposed to happen. Romeo. Why does this keep happening? Is it me? Is it my fault? Romeo. You never should have had to suffer this. Not you.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. I've been going really hard on the monsters lately. Partially due to the fact that I get tired, so I use caffeine to balance out, counteract the anxiety medication. I take Zoloft. And also because when I stopped hitting myself, like I told you, I've been quit now for like over 4 months. I kind of lean on that harder to kind of pick up the slack, you know what I mean? But I've got to the point where I definitely need to stop. I had 3 monsters yesterday, when I went from like having one occasionally to having one every day to have multiple ones. So I definitely do need to ease off. I definitely do need to ease off. I'm not going to say I'm going to give them up forever, because I believe everybody's entitled to at least one vice, as long as it's not fucking heroin. But I do need to cut back for a while. So I had 3 yesterday, and the thing about me is I can't just quit and just say, oh, I'm done. I'm the type of person that I need to do it one more time and get out of my system. So what I did was I got 3 monsters today. I got a coffee monster, a juice monster, and a regular monster. The whole gauntlet. And I'm going to finish them today, and then I'm not going to have any more for a while.
This is horrific. To see the arms of her apprentice like that. Do you think she'll be okay? I mean, that would destroy anyone, regardless of their resolve. The only way we can help her is to find Romeo.
Oh, hey, Philippe, it's good to see you, man. Woo, America! What's up? Yeah, just give me 1 second. Let me back. Sorry, Echo. I gotta move yet. I'll be right back. My mom got a package delivered. I have to get it. Green beans, all the green beans. Little cream of green beans. Okay, I'm back. They dropped my mom's medication off the door. Somebody had to get it. They didn't even knock. I really fucking hate it when they do that. Or don't do that. And now my cat wants back in. Fuck me! Come on, Echo. Okay. Yeah, I got some awesome new weapons, Samantha. This gun is like a greatsword that's like a gun blade. This thing's fucking amazing. Like the quick attack's like a standard attack. Then you fire like a gun, and then you reach over and fire it again around. It's fucking sweet. You can rev it up, power it up even further. This cool lightning sword. Regular attack, it's a regular attack. Then you have lightning. Okay, but then... Actually, hold on. Let me go back to the hub so I can practice a little bit. When you have to, in order to do special moves, you have to have Fable. That's what they call the blue bar. And you don't want to waste it, but the game has a really good feature where if you go to practice dummies outside the hub, they will constantly refill your Fable bars without you, like instantly. So you can try out the moves basically to test out weapons. But yeah, so anyway, like the normal attack. Oh, it's like a normal attack, but then you have the like lightning thrust or whatever. But the best part is you buff up the weapon and it attacks much faster, but you get this sick fucking dodge where you like teleport through lightning. And then the ultimate attack is like a fucking lightning beam. That is fucking sick. And then, hold on. I got this big club, and it's actually surprisingly quick. Like, it looks really heavy, but it's really fast. And you can make the staff spray acid, and it's like a snake. But yeah, it's fucking sick. Like I said, so far, I really like the lightning sword. I also really like the gun blade. I just love the way it looks like the mixture of old and new. And how when he reloads it, he flicks it like a fucking lever action rifle. even the sound of the chamber spinning is fucking sick. And then the ultimate attack on this is you fire a giant explosion. See, like, I love that. Like, and it's so useful too because you can literally push yourself back, then rush in. And even though it's technically classified as a greatsword, it's super fast. You know what I mean? It's quicker in speed to a sword. And it even does a special thing. You know, most of the weapons, when you do the critical attacks, it's a standard thing. It's one of the only weapons in the game that has a special animation where you see him shove it in and detonate it. But I think it's fucking sick. And I got this, this is a Sherlock Holmes outfit, like, no shit. Which I think is funny. Elementary. But I got probably one of my favorite outfits in the game, if not the entire game. I got this, yeah. I got this suit of armor. When I beat that bitch with a hammer. You left, like, right after I beat her, but I got her outfit, and it looks like chainmail and shit. I think it looks fucking sick. Yeah, see, look, when you do the finisher, he puts it in, detonates it. It has a special animation. Most of them just use, like, the same, like, he does a bunch of slashes. That's fine, but this is one of the only ones that's special. So it's awesome. It's like he's impaling them and then priming it. And it just looks so cool. And when you power it up, you can literally see, like, the red hot traveling up the funnel of the blade, like a flame. That to me is also fucking sick. Okay, I didn't know. And when you power it up, it has blue flames. It's a fucking tight. And like I said, I just love the way he spins it. Yeah, and normally it would take me like forever to charge up the fables to use these abilities, or you can't spam them, you know what I mean? They're like special moves. But like I said, the dummies refill your eater, and it's cool because it lets you try it out. Ordinarily, if you wanted to test out a weapon's super ability, you'd have to sit there and wait, and then you wouldn't want to waste it. So this is like a free place to experiment. Oh yeah, and then I got, there's this paddle. It's just like a regular paddle, right? But you prime it, and then every hit explodes. It's like the cricket ball from hell. But best part, when you charge up the swing, it spins. The handle. I just honestly, I fucking love the way the handle works when it spins. Home run! Oh, boom! Yeah, and if you, so just a pro tip. Like I said, when you die, your health refills and your vials refill, but your Fable doesn't. So whenever you stop by the hotel, because you're gonna stop by the hotel in the main game if you're playing Lies of P. Just run out here on the veranda and it'll automatically fill your thing and you keep it. So you can basically leave with a full thing of Fable bars.
Well met.
See, this cat, she likes her belly being scratched, so she literally will spread her leg out and kick it back to widen out her belly for me to scratch it. She's so fucking spoiled. Yeah, a few. There's actually this whole really cool area out on the sea. I went out on the ice. There's like glaciers. And you could see the Aurora Borealis, and there was like a bunch of, like a fleet of shipwrecks that I had to navigate through. It was actually pretty cool. So it's like you're walking on, you know, ice to go behind these shipwrecks with the Aurora Borealis hanging in the sky. And yeah, this is the orphanage house, basically, the boarding house where Pinocchio was raised. I'm trying to be careful. I don't know. I don't want to spoil too much of the plot for you. With you playing it. But basically, okay, all people were raised here at the Menard boarding house, the Rose Estate, and they would either go on to be alchemists, engineers, or stalkers. You know, basically warriors. And Carlo, Geppetto's son, grew up in the orphanage. Basically, at this boarding house, because it's not just for people without parents. And he grew to resent his dad, because his dad was never around. And that chick I was just with trained Pinocchio, basically. Took him on when he was a kid. And the chick, dude I'm looking for, Romeo, is his best friend. Wow. Jesus. That is fucking stunning. Oh, man. Like, you know, the art direction in this game is stunning anyway, but just like, dude, the bed drapes sitting there, the rose petals on the floor, the light shining in through the rafters and the snow. That is fucking gorgeous.
Wait, this must be Sophia's room. So, she was here where all this happened.
See, Leah, Carlo, and Romeo. And Carlo died. And Geppetto, who made all the puppets, was devastated that he died. He caught the sickness that was turning them all into the freaks. So he basically revived Pinocchio, or Carlo, and put him in this body that you see here. So Pinocchio is essentially Carlo. Because he has his soul, his essence. And it's funny too because she doesn't know that though, the chick that he was with, because Pinocchio died when he was, or Carlo died when he was like 12. So when his father reconstituted him into a new body, he made it look older, you know, to be like a 17, 18. But she could tell because when you're fighting with her, like you're running to this estate trying to save Romeo, she's like, your fighting stance seems very familiar. Yes, he's a puppet. But he's a puppet with free will. They have souls. Hold on, I'll show you. They're not lifeless. You see the blue shit that happens when you teleport, or like you see the blue crystals? That's called ergo. That's the currency in the game. That is raw life force. And they found it in the mines underneath the city, and they were able to use it to power all this crazy shit. So they found that they could put it in robots. So they made them the first automatons. Puppets. But the puppets... they weren't supposed to have free will. But what they found out was that many of the puppets could gain free will and sentience. Like when the puppets start off, they're like this guy.
To Hotel Pratt. How may I be of service?
You see what I'm saying? They don't show any personality. But they found that over time, they called it awakening. Their like consciousness could awake, and they could become sentient. So it's kind of a spin on Pinocchio because on the surface of it, he is a puppet, you know, he's wood, or you know what I mean, not wood, but you get the point. He's a puppet, but he has the soul of a real boy. And throughout the game, you have to choose to lie or not. And lying is not actually always a bad thing. In fact, it's usually a good thing in this game, because in the lore they flip the idea on its head, because Pinocchio, he lied and his nose would grow longer. In this game, all of the puppets have a set of rules that is hard coded in them, and one of those rules, they can't lie. Now, Pinocchio was not made with those rules, because his dad didn't want him to be restricted. So Pinocchio can lie. And as you go through the game, you can choose to lie, and he gets more and more human the more that you do it. But lying is actually usually, in this game, a good thing. They kind of flip it, like lying and telling somebody that they look beautiful even though they're ravaged by the plague. Telling somebody that their partner died an okay death instead of being horribly tortured. In this game, most of the lies that Pinocchio tells are to spare other people's heartache. So, do you see what I mean? Where they take all of the really cool ideas of Pinocchio and they respect the source material, but they flip it? Where lying is what makes him more human, and where he's still technically, is trying to be a real boy, and it's, and the chick that you level up with, her name is Sophia, and she has a blue butterfly. So, like the blue fairy, and she's the one that helps Pinocchio level up throughout the game. The guy that you hear talking on his lamp, that's Jiminy. He's his guide in a lantern, but he's a robotic guide. Like, they put a clever spin on it. You have it's set in the 18th century. It's like 1890 something. They don't tell you the exact year, but it's 1890 something. So they call it the Belle Epoque era. Like turn of the century, European society, pre-World War I. So they keep the characters, the stuff, but they put a spin on it. But a lot of the time when they do modern adaptations, they suck because they don't respect the source material. You can make changes and make something your own. You can make changes and you can make something your own, but you still need to respect the source material. And that's why it's become a joke when somebody says for a modern audience, like, oh no, this is gonna suck. Because usually it means they're gonna ruin everything that made the original story good. How many times have you seen a reboot for modern audiences that sucked ass? But this... these people read the original story and they respect it, and even down to little details. So even though it changes the setting, the context, it still feels like it's done in reverence, rather than saying, well, the original sucks, we can fix it. It's like, let's put a new spin on this, but it's still Pinocchio. It still has all the elements. So it's simultaneously very different to the source material and very accurate, And a lot of people are like, well, Pinocchio isn't dark. When people think of these stories, they always think of the Disney versions. Pinocchio's been around since the 1600s. Those original stories were a lot darker. So you'd be surprised. And, Wizard of Oz. I love the movie, don't get me wrong, but it is considerably lighter than the books. The books actually had some dark shit in it. And I pretty much read all of them, most of the Elfring Baum ones anyway. People did novels after he died, but I don't really care about that much about those for the most part. Yes, Pinocchio has been around for a very long time. It's a super old fairy tale. Let me Google it. I don't know exactly how long, but I know it's been around. Pinocchio's been a story for hundreds of years, long before Disney ever did the movie. You know what I mean? And Disney put their own spin on it. Like they didn't do the fucking novel word for word. And even like the little things, like Pinocchio, his original body was called Carlo. The guy who wrote Pinocchio originally, his name was Carlo Collodi. No, okay, I'm sorry. Not 1600s, 1800s, but still very long. The original story was written by Carlo Collodi and was called The Adventures of Pinocchio, and it was written in 1883. So it still has been, around for like 150 years. Yeah, exactly. So by the time they did the Pinocchio movie in the 40s, Pinocchio had already been a story for 60 years. You see what I mean? But Disney became so synonymous. And it's also fitting because, like I said, this game takes place in 1890 something, turn of the century. So they set the game around the time the novel was originally written. Another kind of clever twist. And even, like, there's some stuff that I didn't even know that I find out that blew my mind. Krat is the name of the city this game takes place in. The city of Krat, Kraat. It actually, I think, is Polish for box. Like a wooden box. And he's trapped in the city. Everybody's trapped in the city. So he's a puppet in a wooden box. Even the name plays into the fucking theming. And that is super fucking clever. Or, they talk about like how he met a donkey. You can actually get his costume. The donkey that led Pinocchio astray and was like trying to get him to do mischief, and he got turned into a donkey with it. They talk about the Black Rabbits. There's a group of vandals called the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. And at the end of this game, they show Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, and they show her red fucking heels. Implying that the next game is going to have a focus on Dorothy and be set in The Wizard of Oz. And that to me blew my fucking mind. Because I thought that I thought they were going to for sure do a sequel, but I thought they would stick with Pinocchio. And Pinocchio is great. There's only so much you can do. But no, they're like going with all these classic fairy tales. So like there are so many like stories that are in the public domain that you can freely do adaptations of, like Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty. The non-Disney versions are in the public domain. So like it's not just like it's what it means, what it could be. Like it's exciting because it means they can do anything. You know what I mean? They're not limited to Pinocchio. Any of these classic story tales is game. And Dorothy's in the same universe as Pinocchio. So they're all part of a connected universe of like gothic fairy tales that is so fucking cool. And you've seen this game, and you've seen how beautiful it is, the spin, the research, the clever ideas. Now imagine a game like this in The Wizard of Oz, set in the 18th century with the steampunk, a mature, bloody take on Oz. Think of all the cool shit they could do with The Wizard of Oz. All the creatures, the flying fucking monkeys, the talking animals. Like a dark gothic Oz set in a turn of the 18th century. Like, that idea is so fucking great. And these spectacles were actually put in the game later as they're referencing Oz. Because here's what's amazing, and this shows once again they've already done their research. In the book, the original Wizard of Oz, the city was silver, it was glass, and the wizard made them wear green spectacles to make it look green. So the fact that they added an item to the game to reference Oz that's green spectacles shows they already are paying attention to the fucking book. And I adore Wizard of Oz. Like I told you, I grew up every year watching it with my mom on Thanksgiving when it used to play on TNT. My mom had Wizard of Oz merch, and then when I became a teenager, I went to the library and I would get the books and read them. And I fucking loved them. So I've always loved the Wizard of Oz. But there's not really any games about the Wizard of Oz. So the thought of this team that made this game, how good this game is, doing a game with similar gameplay in the fucking land of Oz, gives me fucking goosebumps. And once again, Oz, the original story is in public domain. They don't need to pay anybody for any rights. The original story was 1880 something? It was 1800s too. Yeah, you think more people would have made the game, you know? But I can't wait for this. You know what I mean? And like, I'm super excited just to see the Wizard of Oz. Well, like I said, they could conceivably do any gothic fairy tale. Like, there's so much potential, and they're different stories, but they're all part of a larger universe. That is fucking sick. So, like I said, and this is the studio's first game. They had no prior game making experience before they made this. So the fact that this was their first game is fucking insane. Usually when a company makes a game for the first time, it's or just okay, or sometimes bad, and they get better. So the fact this was their first game is fucking mind-blowing. Also because of just imagine where they can go from here. This was already amazing. They can take all that experience and make it better. Obviously, their subsequent games are going to be better because they learned. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's 100 years now. It used to be the life of the owner. Copyright law used to be the life of the owner plus 70 years. So there would never be a copyright expiration as long as the person was alive. Then, and then Disney lobbied to get it, I think, to 75 and then 100 because they didn't want to lose the rights to Mickey. And Walt Disney's obviously been dead for quite some time. Died in the 70s, yeah. So they would have already expired a few years ago if they hadn't extended it. But whatever. Fuck them. Mickey! Yes, exactly. Exactly. For the most part with movies, sequels usually aren't as good. It's different with games though, because they can build on that foundation. In general, most of the time sequels are better. I mean, sometimes you get a sequel that sucks or you find something, I prefer the first game, but generally speaking, games are not, because it's a technical, the foundation, the design. So, and this game was an unexpected success. I mean, it didn't do like Call of Duty numbers, but this game, the developers already said it greatly outsold what they thought it would, many times over. Like, this game was actually kind of a sleeper hit for 2023. And that's why they could make this DLC so large, because there's so much support for the base game. So, they have all this experience that they learned from this game, and then the second game is going to have a much bigger budget, because this game was a huge success relative to what they thought. So, I'm fucking pumped for the second game. Yes, exactly. I'm fucking pumped. Man, look at you saying litigious. That's a fancy word. I haven't heard anybody use that. Props to you. Fucking thesaurus. That's great, though. Like, I mean that in a good way. I try to speak with an elegant vocabulary. So, I'm so excited. First of all, to see the sequel that's already being worked on. When the game was a success, they had already started working on a sequel right away. So they have been working on the sequel now for about 2 years. And, you know, like they had one team doing the sequel and another team doing the DLC. So it's not like now that this DLC is over, they're just going to start. They've been working on the DLC since, the sequel since probably like right before the game launched, because there was a huge amount of buzz. So I think they got the green light to do the sequel before they even finished the original game. So it hopefully won't take years and years and years, but whatever. But I'm super excited. Firstly, to see what they do with a bigger budget and all the experience that they've learned from this, because this game is fucking phenomenal. But also because of future games. Then the second game will be Wizard of Oz. Third game could be Cinderella. Like, who knows? Like, any of those classic fairy tales are game. Like, they could do anything. And it's all these universes coming together, so they could have references to Liza P in the second game. You know, so, like, it feels like this game is like the start of something much grander. Oh, that's great. Well, you know. I'll lay down the law on you. You my woman. That's the law. But, so, like, it's like the, you know, and because it's all classic fairy tales, there's very little limitations on what they can do, you know what I mean? It's not like, well, with Pinocchio, they have to try to make it all stick with Pinocchio. With fairy tales, like, there's, like, the sky's the limit, you know what I mean? And throughout this game, they tease a wider story. Like, they tease, like, you finish this game's story isn't incomplete. But they tease that there's a group of alchemists, super powerful alchemists, like a holy order, secret order, pulling the strings, and one of the dudes looking for Dorothy, and that's how she gets brought into it. So even though they're gonna have, like, separate stories, they have this overarching thread of this shadowy cult behind the scenes, so they're still connected. And that's also cool, where even though they're different stories, they tie into a larger narrative. And I dig that shit. Like, I can't fucking wait. Like, you know, so, I played this game on Game Pass back in the day, because it was a day one Game Pass game. And I was fucking blown away. And it was one of those games, that got better the farther you go into it. A lot of games, they want to play their best card up front because, you know, I guess they want to put their best foot forward, get people in. But the problem with doing that is that it goes downhill from there. You've already seen the best act. Liza P is not like that. It's slow. It takes its time getting to the characters and the setting. But what that means is that Liza P gets exponentially better the further you get into it. You know, in the start of the game, you don't see his humanity. You don't see the story threads. And, like, the more it gets, you start learning about, like, what happened to Pinocchio, and seeing him transform and become more human, seeing... Yes, exactly. And learning is, you know, the encounters get better, the areas get better. And so when I started playing Liza P, the first chapter, I'm like, okay, it's pretty good. Then I'm like, wow, this is great. And by the end of the game, I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. And, you know, the sad thing is a lot of people will play a game, and if it's not good in 15 minutes, they'll just give up. You know, I love Max. I told him this. You know, you know, he's like my best male friend in the whole fucking world. I love him to death. I would take a bullet for him, but and something I've chided him on. I'm not, like, talking behind his back or anything. I've said this to his face. He is one of those people where he expects a game to be good immediately. In, like, 15 minutes, if it's not, he's made up his mind. And it frustrates me. Because, one, that's not, like, 30 minutes is not time, I think, to decide anything on a game. And for two, if you're going to play, like, an RPG, it's even longer. RPGs are my favorite genre. I like action games, I like horror games, but if I had to pick my favorite genre, it would be RPGs. Because for me, as I explained before, it's about the immersion, the sense of going to another world, of being able to do things I can never do in real life, a fantasy world, you know? Stuff like that. So games, for me, it's the immersion. And RPGs, I think, do immersion better than any other genre. But with RPGs, because they have such a dense story, and because they usually have a lot more mechanics, they're mechanically complex games, they take longer to get going. Because they don't want to overwhelm you with like 15 systems and all this, exposition right away. So they have to slowly pace it and get you into the world. And they need to do it that way so they don't overwhelm you. But it means that it takes time to get going. But it's ultimately, if the RPG is good, it's worth it because you're taking longer up front, but the RPGs are much longer in general. You know what I mean? You get a lot of RPGs that are like 50, 60 hours long, 100 hours long for some of the massive ones like Skyrim, Fallout. So you're investing more time up front to get to the good stuff, but it pays itself back because the game is much longer overall. So I've learned I have a general policy when I play an RPG to give it at least 3 hours, bare minimum. Before I decide if I like this game or not, I have to play it for at least 3 hours. Because some games, some RPGs, will start slow, but then they get really awesome and it pays off. You know? And he will play a game for like 15 minutes, or even an RPG for 15 minutes, and just, I don't like it or whatever. And it pisses me off because he's allowed to dislike whatever he likes, of course. But he's not really giving it proper time, especially going into it knowing it's going to be a longer game, because he'll ask me about it and I'll tell him it's a longer game. And also because you still can't say you've given it a fair shake then. Like, you can say, I read the first 20 pages of this book. I didn't think it was very good, what I read. But you can't judge the whole book. You know what I mean? And so when I'm like, oh, you should try this game, and it's like, oh, he gives it 30 minutes, and then he decided and made up his mind, I'm like, dude, you didn't get out of the fucking intro, dog. You didn't get to the title card. You know? Like I said, I'm not shit-talking. I don't talk shit behind anybody's back. Anything I say to your face, I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Anything I would say when you're not there, I would say to your face. I do not talk behind people's backs. I have given Max shit and said this exact same thing to him. You know what I mean? I do not talk behind people's backs. I've even made jokes saying, well, he has the attention span of a child and shit. So I just want to make that clear. I don't gab about my friends, or you behind your back. Anything I say to you, Samantha, I would say to your fucking face. Always. And if I have a problem with you, I'm going to directly talk to you about it up front. I am not a passive-aggressive person. I don't play games, I don't do drama, or make you guess. If I have a problem with you, you will fucking know. Yeah. And that's important to me. You know what I mean? I don't talk shit about people behind their backs. And I especially do not diss my friends or my partners publicly. Okay? Let me tell you something. You could give an opinion on something, or you could get into an argument with somebody, and you could be factually wrong. Factually wrong. Because a lot of arguments are subjective, my opinion versus your opinion, but sometimes you're factually wrong. I would not confront you about it publicly. I would tell you in private, yeah, you fucked up, or I think you fucked up. I do not embarrass my partner in public. I can't stand it when somebody gets into a fight with their girlfriend or boyfriend in public. Yeah, I've had people be gossipers too, so I understand totally where it comes from. It's not my mom. I got my bluntness and directness from my mother. My mother's just like me. Up in your face, no bullshit. She has a problem, you're gonna fucking know. So I'm very much like my mother in that regard. My dad is the calmer, more laid-back, think-it-through situation. He doesn't talk behind people's back, but I'm saying my dad will sit there and not do anything, whereas my mom, And sometimes we both can be a little bit too trigger-happy, so to speak. Sometimes I should take a moment and think back, but I come in hot. You know what I'm saying? I'm an emotional person. My dad's not a pussy or anything like that. He's not a coward. He's just takes tact, moment to breathe and assess the situation. No. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You would never catch me dead, getting into a fight with you in public, or sharing your dirty laundry public. Like I've seen girls, I've seen guys, I've seen both sexes do it, where they'll get into a fight in public, or they'll like air out their dirty laundry and say something embarrassing about the other person. Wouldn't catch me dead doing that. You do not embarrass your fucking partner. So like, even if you said something that was wrong, I would not confront you on in public. I'd be like, well, no, you were wrong. In private, wouldn't fucking embarrass you in public. We, frontward facingly to society, are a fucking unit. And so you would never catch me talking bad about you behind your back. You would never catch me making fun of you, and not, playfully ribbing you is different. Like, me giving Max shit is not like mocking him behind his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, say, but you would never catch me talking behind somebody's back. I don't talk behind people's back, and I don't embarrass my friends or my partners romantically in fucking public. And I'm glad we're on the same page with that, because, like, I'm a very private person. You'll see me talk about my mother, and I'll give you general stuff about my mother, like she's disabled and stuff like that, or I'm helping her, but you don't see me talking about personal things, like what her disability is, her upbringing, stuff like that, because that's private. I don't dish out my personal life. There's some people, streamers and content creators, that make their personal life, their private life public. Like, they whore out their life for attention. That is not me. And I'm very adamant about that. I don't, I'm not going to talk about my family. My mom, I love her, but I'm not going to give, like, personal information. I'm not going to talk about drama with my family. Because that's private. There is a delineation. Yeah, well, we never talked about it before, so at least I'm not just imitating you, trying to... At least I'm not just imitating you, trying to make you like me, you know what I mean? We never mentioned that, so some people, like, mirror you. I'm not doing that. We honestly think the same, because we had never talked about that policy up until just now, so... But, if I'm wrong about something, I try to be right whenever possible. I really do. I'm always one of those people who tries to do my research. I don't talk about something that I don't know anything about. A lot of people don't even want to say, well, I don't know, because they look stupid, even though that's not stupid, not knowing something. Admitting that you don't know something is not stupid, but whatever. So you'd be amazed at how many people won't even mention the fact that, well, I'm wrong, or I made a mistake. Or just say, I don't know, right? It's something as simple as saying, I don't know, they feel stupid. I will not do that. I do not like to talk about topics that I'm not well versed in, because I will only come across stupid. So anything that I talk about in depth, I will give an opinion that is researched. You may not agree with my opinion, you may not like my opinion, but you can't say that it was an ill-informed opinion. I told you I have a head for facts. My special brand of autism. No, I'm not worried about you. I know you're genuine. I had a girlfriend who did that, though. She just said she liked everything that I liked, every game. She would watch me stream, and she would just be like, oh, I just like it. And whenever I asked her, like, what she liked about it or how she felt, she would just say, oh, it's all right. Give non-committal answers, or made me feel like she was just placating me when I just wanted her opinion. I wasn't trying to get her to suck the game's dick, you know what I mean? But I digress. That was a long time ago. Just mentioning, I know what mirroring looks like. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out the way to put it, but I always try to be well researched. I have a head for facts, and I will spend hours researching a topic. Sometimes I will sit on my phone on Wikipedia for hours just amassing information. I will I'll try to learn random shit. I'll come across something I've never heard of on the internet. I'll research it. I know that I can't know everything, but I sure as fuck want to try. I will to play a game following a thread. I'll look up a movie or something, or a game or whatever on Wikipedia. Then I'll follow another topic that links that, and so I can learn all kinds of adjacent things. So I generally try to not be wrong, to present my information in a way where even if you don't agree with my opinion, you can't say it's not a good argument. That's my goal. Because you can't possibly make an argument that everyone agrees with. I could say the sun is blue, and some asshole would say it's orange. But what you can do is make an argument that is so structurally sound that even if somebody doesn't agree with you, they can understand the conclusion that you arrived at and how you got there. So even if you don't agree with my opinion, you can say, well, I see why you think that way. It follows a logical train of thought. It's well researched. It's not just pulled out of my ass, you know? Because you can't make an opinion or a case that everyone agrees with. But you can make an argument that is structurally sound and backed up and solidified by research. That's my goal. So a lot of the time, somebody will ask me, have you played this game, or do you like this game, or do you like the show? And I'll tell them honestly, I don't really know very much about it, because I don't want to talk in my ass. Or I'll tell them, well, I played this game and I like it, but I haven't finished it, so it might change. You know what I'm saying? I don't just act like, well, I'm an expert in everything. I'll say, no, I don't really know, and I don't want to mislead you, because I'm not an authority. So when I talk about, like, Liza P., or Spider-Man, or movies, you can tell that I have done my fucking research. You know, like you're talking about, like, you bring me along for audio trivia night, music trivia night, or talking about movies, because I know my shit. You know, you can tell I have played this game fucking backwards and forwards, and I know to talk about it. And if I didn't, I wouldn't. Sometimes the smartest and most appropriate thing you can do... that sucks, I'm sorry. Sometimes the most smartest, the most intelligent and tactful thing you can do is to say that you don't know. And for some people, it's like a pride thing because it makes them feel stupid, but there's no shame in admitting that you don't know. In fact, I think it's more shameful to give somebody wrong information and be proven to be a dumbass and not know what you're talking about than to just say, I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? To me, there is less shame in just saying you don't know than talking out of your ass and being proven incorrect. Abraham Lincoln. It is better to be thoughtful than to open one's mouth and prove them correct. And because of that, hopefully, you'll see in time, and other people who know me know that when I talk about something, and I give an opinion on a topic, that I have researched it, and so it adds a certain amount of credibility to what I talk about. Where even if you don't agree with it, because you don't have to, you can say, okay, he knows what he's talking about. Maybe I don't agree with his opinion on that thing, but he's not just speaking out of his ass. Oh, that's great. Or Confucius. Oftentimes I have regretted my words. Never have I regretted my silence. Yeah, I'm saying my dad, he would quote that. That's where I got that line from, was my dad. He would tell me, you know, it's better to be thoughtful than open one's mouth and prove them correct. Like, he would tell me that, like, you know. Yeah, I'm sure, I don't know if he invented it, but it's widely attributed to Lincoln. You know what I mean? He was the most famous person that said it 200 years ago. So maybe he didn't come up with it, but he's who it's associated with. So when I quote it, you know. Or Albert Einstein. Another quote that I love. He said there are only two things that are infinite. The universe and human stupidity. And I'm not sure about the universe. Words to live by. Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to say that, like, you know, That's the thing that you can count on me. You know, I don't have a lot of money. I have my share of issues, as you know, but you don't ever have to wonder if we have a problem. You don't ever have to wonder if I'm lying to you. You don't ever have to wonder if we're okay, and you don't have to worry about, you know, me saying one thing to your face and then saying another thing behind your back. You know, and I'm glad that you appreciate my honesty, and I do try to be honest with you, but you can ask anybody. I'm like this with everybody. I'm a blunt, no fucking beating around the bush, straight to the point dude. I don't dilly-dally. I'm not passive-aggressive. If I've got a problem with you, I'm gonna know, and I will tell you exactly how I fucking feel. When I started talking to you, I told you right away, I thought you were cool. And you had my interest. I didn't play games and play coy. I just told you straight up, I'm here to shoot my shot. Because you a hot goth MILF, and I want a piece. Sorry. Break me off a piece of that. Goth cat bar. Gothic crunch. Ba-dum. Exactly. I've lost a lot of friends because they don't want somebody to be real to them. But the good news about that is the ones I have are genuine. I fully trust Max. I freely believe Max would take a bullet for me. I don't ever have to wonder if he's my friend. He has been super loyal to me. We've been friends for about 2 years now. Give or take. And in that time, he has never let me down. He has never left me hanging in the wind. He has never made me doubt if he was my friend. He has been a fucking unit. A G. I always know I can depend on him. Sometimes he'll annoy me because he'll say everything's gay and just make offensive jokes. He doesn't believe the things that he says. He literally says offensive jokes just because they're offensive. And that's fine. I even do that, you know, just to be dark. But he'll, like, do it constantly. And I've told him this. He'll, you know, or he'll talk about Max Payne, like, literally every day. Every fucking conversation that I have with him. And sometimes I literally just have to tell him to stop. And, you know, and of course I just let it go, because one, I could be like that. I get it, you know, we're all autistic. And Max is autistic, I'm autistic. Like, he actually is, too. We both hyperfixate, I get it. Max Payne is his hyperfixation. But there is a point where enough is enough. And he's annoying, and I tell him, but overall, I'm more than happy to deal with it, because I never have to wonder where I can go with him. I never have to wonder if he's got my back. I know that if push came to shove, he would be there. You know, if Max tells me he's gonna do something, he fucking does it. Like, if he says he's gonna stop by my stream, he does. They were, yeah. Well, he will try to irritate people sometimes, just to fuck with them, but it's all in good fun. Like, he'll try to get a rise out of you, but he's not, like, doing it to hurt you. He's just trying to rib you, and sometimes he takes it too far, and that's when you just have to tell him, because he doesn't mean to do it. You know what I mean? Like, he's just trying to rib you, and sometimes he just does it too much. And if you tell him, he'll stop. As soon as he realizes he's offended you, he'll apologize, you know, this is not his goal. Like, he'll make gay jokes and he'll get on people's nerves. Because it's like the 30th gay joke that day. But then if you tell him, dude, chill, he'll stop. He's never, you know what I mean? Or like, I'll tell him, you upset me or you're irritating me, and he'll stop. Like, he never means to, you just have to tell him. And I understand that because he is autistic and sometimes we don't pick up on that shit. You know, so what works best is to tell him. He would never intentionally hurt you. Yeah. So, you know, some people misunderstand him. because they think that he's just an asshole, not understanding that he's just joking, and like he'll say something dark, and people think that's how he actually feels, and it's not. He's just making an edgy joke. He's not actually those things, you know? Like, I've had people assume that he didn't like gay people because he makes jokes about everything being gay. No, he's just doing that to give people a hard time. We've had gay people in the group. He doesn't fucking care. He's not actually homophobic. Exactly. Thank you. I have Asperger's, and I literally had a hard as fuck time reading social cues. I had to learn the hard way, and I still make mistakes sometimes. My parents had to tell me, shut the fuck up, you know what I mean, when I was taking some too far. So, I get it. And I've made a lot of headway in that, but as a kid, I had no fucking social skills to speak of. I was awkward as fuck, and I would talk until you told me to shut up when I liked someone. And it's taken me many years, but I've learned a lot more social graces. But I get it, you know, where it's coming from, so I understand it when Max does it, that he's not trying to offend, he doesn't actually think that way, you know? Like I said, I had somebody think that he was homophobic because he makes gay jokes. And I'm like, no. He's just doing that to give people a hard time. He doesn't care if you're gay. Like, he genuinely doesn't. Wow, this beautiful garden. And this place is tragic because, like, all these people were killed. All these people were killed. Yes, exactly. No, that is what it is. I didn't have a feel for it. I had to learn it analytically. You know what I mean? Like, this is what this expression means. Whereas people just know, I had to learn. But over time, I've gotten a lot better at it. I'm not perfect, but I made a lot of headway. Like I said, now I know when to shut the fuck up, when to stop talking. And it's also... Oh shit, wow. It's also just, also something that it's a joint effort, because my parents used to listen to me talk until they couldn't anymore and then get pissed. And they've had to learn to, okay, if he's talking too much, just tell him. Or like my mom and other people when I was younger, they would, I'm right there, I don't give a fuck. They would think that, like, I would hyperfixate on a topic and I would talk about it, and they would think that I didn't care about what they had to say because I would just talk about this. And it wasn't that I just got, like, so excited and so fixated on something. It wasn't that I didn't care about them, and over time, thankfully, they've learned that as well. That it's not like I don't care, you know, about what they have to say. I just get so caught up that, you know, I need to finish the train of thought. And, you know, so it's a dual effort. I made an effort, and as much as I can. My family has their problems, and they can conflict. I love my mother, to death, that she's bipolar, and that she's public about that. And so sometimes sometimes we'll have spats and like fights because our mental illnesses will rub up against each other. But I still love her, you know. She gives me the help she can. We're both suffering from mental illness, and I assume she's got a bit of the tism too, honestly. You know, plus it's just like when my mom was my age, autism wasn't even really talked about on a grand scale, wasn't a thing. They've made so much progress since then. So, you know, when they had me in the 90s, they just didn't know what to fucking do, you know what I mean? Like, they could tell I was odd, but they didn't know, like, autism was the word for it. Oh, Asperger's, but you get the point. Most people don't understand Asperger's. I just say autism. There's no guide. You know, same with my mom. She's bipolar, and they're just now making headways with bipolar and fully giving it the recognition it deserves, but there wasn't any of that when she was coming up. So yeah, I love my mom, and we're both supportive, but it's not like they're perfect. We definitely butt heads sometimes because my anxiety, you know, and because she is bipolar. Because she's bipolar, sometimes she'll be manic when I'm high strung from anxiety, and they're from different reasons. Because I've talked to psychologists and therapists and stuff, and they don't think I'm bipolar; they just think I have anxiety disorder. Because, you know, when my mom had bipolar, she thought maybe I could have, and there was a chance, but they generally just think that I have GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, and severe O.C.D. So, in fact, that's the name of my channel, O.C.G. I wanted to own it, so it's Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, the O.C.G. Karen and Reese, the O.C.G. Explain why my channel is called that, because I wanted to own my shit. So she will be manic when I'm having a panic attack, and we're both two high-strung people butting heads. Or I'll be yippy when she's having a depressive mood. You know what I mean? And I am very much like my mother. Later on, I will send you a picture of my mother. I am the spitting image of my mother, but a dude. Like, I mean, I look like my dad. Of course, there are parts of my dad, but I majorly look like my mother, and you can tell. And I'm not gonna give out like her full name because she's kind of private. But you see how on Facebook I kept liking and sharing docs and memes with a certain person? That's my mother. I realized that how that might have looked because I'm always tagging her, but that's my mom. She is a very pretty lady. I tell her all the time. Of course, unfortunately, like me, she gets very self-conscious and doesn't believe her, but she looks great. She also looks fucking amazing for her age. Like, she's 50s. And she honestly doesn't look older than her 30s. And, like, I genuinely mean that. You understand? Like, if it was my mother, I would still say, well, you look beautiful to me. I would lie. My mother genuinely does not look her fucking age. And she never had surgery. Yeah. She's never had surgery. You know, she doesn't wear heavy makeup. She's genuinely just aged very well, and hopefully that will come over to me. Because if you saw a picture of my mom, she does not look anywhere near her actual age. And when I tell her that, she's like, oh, you just see an picture of my son. I'm like, no. But my son, you know, my son always rose instead of my mother. My dad worked a lot when I was a kid, trying to provide a better life for us. But he was very busy, working 70, 100-hour weeks. So it's not like he was a deadbeat dad. My dad loves me. But I spent most of my time around my mother. Even when it comes to, like, man stuff, I would talk to my mother about it. I became exceptionally close to my mother. That's another thing I've had with girlfriends. I've had girlfriends who don't like my mother. She doesn't care. It's not nothing new. I genuinely speaking prefer older women. I've dated women of all ages. I don't just exclusively date older women, but more often than not have dated older women. She doesn't care. After so long, she just accepted it. She doesn't care. Like, at first she was like, huh, that's odd, but then, and she kind of understands why I explained to her that I'm a lot more mature than people my age, and especially when I was younger, like 17, 18, 19, 20, I was especially older and way more mature than women my age, who I found to be very vapid. But honestly, it wouldn't matter if she didn't like you, or she didn't like it. I date who I want to date, and nobody's going to tell me otherwise. And to be fair, my mother knows that. Like, she doesn't disapprove of you. I'm saying in general, it wouldn't matter if she didn't like you. I'm not going to cater who I date for anybody. So my mom basically knows that even if she doesn't like somebody, I have to keep it to herself because I date who I want to date. Fucking end of story. There's some people who, like, they let their family dictate their relationships. I'm not that guy. My sister even would do that. She would include my mom in her relationships. And my mom knows that I'm, like, the opposite of that. I want her to stay the fuck out of my relationships. I'll, like, mention, like, relationships in passing, but I don't go to my mother for relationship advice or include her in, like, the private, discussions or whatever. And I can't stand when people do that. And both sexes do, but it is more a female thing. Where, women will go to their mother and their girlfriends and gab. And it's not something I do at all, even with my guy friends. I've never boasted about my sex life. Like, I've never boasted about my sex life and said, oh, yeah, I fucked her. I don't give details. I don't talk about private stuff in our relationship. Like, I'll mention you. I already, I mentioned you, Alex, Max. But I wouldn't talk about, like, private stuff or your, like, personal details. And I can't stand it when people do it. And like I said, some guys do it, but it usually is girls that do that, where they'll, like, go and gab to their girlfriends and tell them all about their sex life, and that really pisses me off. That shit's private. It's between you, me, and God. Or whatever deity you believe in. Nobody else. I've had girlfriends who told, like, private details about our life and our sex life to her friends, and oh my god, we got into a fucking row. I nearly fucking broke up with her on the spot. And that relationship didn't work out, but, I'm saying, like, God, I was pissed. This was many years ago. Like, over 10. I had this chick tell my mother about the first time we had sex. Well, I was away because they were going to a pool and I couldn't attend. And when my mom didn't ask her for this information, she knows better. I'm a very private person. Yeah. Man, when my mom came home and she told me about that, she told me that Holly talked about our sex life. Dude, oh my god, I was fucking seeing red. Right? I'm like, what were you thinking? And I don't share that shit with anybody. You understand? I don't talk to my parents about my sex life. So that's gross or whatever. I don't talk to my friends. Some guys will, like, talk to their friends about their sex life. Like, yeah, man, I fucked her. We were crazy last night. I don't do that. I had friends who were, like, asking me about details about women I've hooked up with. Like, oh, did you bang her? I'm like, no. I'm not going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? I've never even, like, boasted to other guys about that, about my dude friends. And Max and the other guys in the group know to not ask me about that stuff because I will straight up tell them it's none of your fucking business. I'm a very private person. You know, so it's like I'll talk about you. I just won't talk about like our sex life or anything like that. Does that make sense? I'm not. I don't want you to think like I wouldn't talk about you or I'm ashamed of you. I'm just saying like I'll mention like, oh, you're doing good. That's hilarious. That's funny. But I hope you get what I'm saying. You know, like I've shown you to all my friends, I've introduced the group. I have no problem talking about you, but I would never talk about like a romantic relationship or personal details or our sex life or anything like that because that's not their fucking business. It's nobody's business. Oh shit. I just wanted to be careful of how I put it so you don't think like I'm embarrassing you because that's not how it is. It's just, you know, like I'll talk about you and I'll say, yeah, Samantha's doing good, you know? That's it. Just like if we had a fight or something, I might mention that we had a fight, but that would be it. I would just say, well, we had a fight. You know, give them a general sit rep. I wouldn't tell them details because that is not their fucking information. You know, and girls I've been with are like, well, you know, you tell your guy friends. I'm like, no, actually, I don't. Like, it's funny. You should mention that. Yeah, at the time, that really pissed me off, like I said. Yeah, I don't care about that, you know? It's not like personal stuff. If we had an argument, I would say, oh, yeah, we had a fight. That would be the end of the conversation. I'm not going to give them details about what went on and what happened. If, you know, do you understand what I'm saying? That's none of their business. I wouldn't talk about it to my other guy friends, wouldn't talk about it to my parents. Sorry. No, it's fine. Like, I mean, I got, like, so angry I've seen fucking red. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, 1 second. I gotta email somebody real quick. Thank you, exactly. My parents have a relationship like that, and they've been together over 30 years. 30 years. Never cheated, never had any problems. They had spats here and there, normal arguments, but my dad has consistently loved my mother for 30 fucking years. Same with my mother. Like, their sons right beside of each other. I've had a lot of disadvantages in my life, but one thing that I always had as an advantage was being able to look and see what real love was. My father would rip his heart out of his fucking chest, his still beating chest, and give it to my mother to help her. He would take a fucking bullet for her. He would do anything to avoid hurting her. And has consistently proven that for 30 years. When she was sick, when she couldn't be well, when she needed him, he is always there. So I could always look and see what real love is. And other people don't have that benefit of that. Their parents aren't together, or they see a toxic relationship. So that is one of the benefits of my life that I'm very appreciative of. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, wrong direction. Yeah, exactly. Trying something different. You may be older, like some of the girls I've dated, but you're definitely not like the other girls I've dated. Trust me, if you were, I would be out of here so fast.
This must be Valentina's and his wife's chambers, if I had to guess. So many bloodstains. I don't think they made it out of here alive. Even a former leader of the Order was helpless when death came calling.
Yeah, exactly. True. What? Yeah, I'm right there. Give me 1 second, my love. I'll be right back. I have to go talk to my parents real quick. Alright, sorry about that. I have returned, my love. I need you to be waiting for me with your legs spread open on the mantelpiece. Your dinner. I am starving. You shall receive my seed. I'm sorry. Mon petit béguet. Ah, fuck. He's a mini boss. Call her Sex Life Lionel Richie. Because I'm going to do you all night long. All night. Okay, that's an optional shortcut. Sweet. Oh, I have to go up that way once I get my shit back. It's on! Like Donkey Kong! I'm gonna have you like a fucking, Middle Eastern housewife, man, in the bedroom. Oh, man! Oh, God! Oh, boy! Oh, yeah! Oh, right there! Oh, don't stop! Oh, boy! One second, I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom so I can get my drink. when we have sex, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you with uh, the Jackie Gleason, man. Humana, 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 pow! Uh, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. Uh, ah, damn it. Ah, you bitch. Oh well, I'll get him. Okay, let's do this. Get her done. Ah. What kind of candy do you like, Samantha? Ah. Woo! Get fucked. Get fucked. Oh, diggity. Now I can go up that route. Ah, what a bitch. I'm right there. Oh, that's a dude. Fortunately, that got mutated. You saw the animals get mutated? That's what happens when it comes to men. That guy used to be one of the chefs. I'm guessing that used to pound the meat because it looks like he's got like the meat tenderizers. I'm gonna tenderize your meat with my penis. Ah! Benno dealing with that fucker. It's way, way, way fucking worse dealing with the whole fucking kitchen crew. Jeez. Looks more like a... There's more fucking fighting going on in this kitchen than in a fucking Waffle House. Okay. Now I want to see if that big fucker respawns every time or if he's one-time spawn. Because it kind of seemed like a big deal like that if we one-time spawn. Nope. Oh well, I don't care. I beat him one time, that's all I need. Like, look at what I'm just fucking doing running. Yeah. Oh shit! Wow. Underground library. Actually, hold on. Yeah. I'll build you a secret library when I get fuck you money. And we can fill it up with our sex diaries. Oh shit. Courage ambulance, huh? Oh, that's cool. Ooh la la! Mon ami! And not only is it a secret library, bear in mind, it's a secret library with secret compartments. Secret section! Yeah, I thought you were gonna sneak up on me, didn't you? Didn't work out the way you thought it would, huh? Jackhole? Yeah. I'm thinking that's what I have to do too. That there's a way to move the library. This is the way I already came. Probably, yeah. Maybe one of the compartments already opened. Or I could be missing some of the ones down here. Didn't check all the sides. Yeah. It just depends. Sometimes I'm quick at picking it up. Other times, yeah, I suck. I've had to look it up. If I have to, I'll look it up. Nobody wants to watch a stream where I'm just sitting here with my thumb in my ass for 2 hours, so if it takes me too long, I'll just look it up. Oh, shit. I didn't see that door right there. That inlet. Ah, okay, there we go. Because like I saw that the path moved, but there was nowhere forward. Sweet. Like it was really easy to miss that inlet. Of course, now I feel stupid, but yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, fuck. fucked. Ooh, the Rose Gardens. Oh, there's like a whole garden section. Oh, wow, look at this. Look how pretty this looks. Here's one of the parts that isn't fucked up. And then, oh, like there's a whole garden. I'm actually really looking forward to how that looks. What is it, like an underground garden? That's cool. Yeah, it is too. That's fucking sick. Oh no, it's at least outdoors. No problem.
For now, I intend to fight. I believe we both fight to protect. It is time for us to... For now, I intend to... I believe it is time...
Yeah. He was telling me to do the side quest. I think I've heard that the last hour of this DLC, the main story, does something special. There's still probably other stuff left to do after it's over. Or it may just be the end and I beat it. Who knows? So I don't think it's over yet. I think it's telling me to gear up for the big shit. I heard like the last hour of this DLC, the main story does something special. I guess that's what it means. I'll avoid any actual spoilers. Yeah, pretty much.
Where's the legend I faced before? Shut up, you filthy puppets! Oh, no. I must ask. Did you actually believe you could save your beloved apprentice?
That is an infamous villain from the base game that you never got to see in his full power.
Oh, and who might you be?
He's a serial killer puppet. In the base game, you saw him be fucked up.
Now, our guest of honor, Leia Florence Monan, takes the stage one more time.
So, like, even though you saw him in the game, he was like a withered, decayed husk. That was teeny tiny, like he was nothing. He was a skeleton. So this is the first time you've seen him
one more time.
Yeah. Oh, you have no idea. He has one of the best scenes in the entire game. You find his, like, decaying corpse, and he gives a monologue, and it's fucking amazing.
Never fails. Humans are just so breakable. Even the legendary stalker hears the whisper. Swore an oath to Carlo. I swore I would never be late again. I won't let anyone else.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I didn't think this was over.
This is exactly what I've been waiting for. This.
Oh, God. Ugh. Yes. Oh, shit.
The alchemists offered me nothing but
Oh. Oh, he's got 4 arms. What the fuck? Oh, shit.
You'll offer me something greater. Won't you?
Wow.
Go on and show me.
And he's using all kinds of blood magic. What the fuck? Okay, this is actually pretty fucking epic. Oh shit! Wow! And he's got fucking like extendo like wow, okay. I mean, I know I died, but like I can't even be mad at that. That was cool as shit. The way he's got like he sheds that, he's got like the fucking blood trails coming out, the cape, the fucking arm blades. Okay, so he was a puppet, and he became sentient. Like I told you, they became sentient, and people weren't aware of that. And because he became sentient, he came to despise humanity. Because they were slaves. Puppets are slaves. And he realized that they would all become sentient, and that's something you learn later. People didn't know that. All the puppets eventually, given enough time, would become sentient like he did. So he became a serial killer, basically, to fight back at the humans. And when in the main game you find his decayed corpse, and he gives you this whole monologue about how much he hates humans and peeling their skin off. And it's a fucking awesome monologue. He's almost like the Joker. And when you first meet him, they call him the King of Riddles. You have to answer riddles on the telephone, and he gives you prizes. So at first, when you meet him, he seems jovial. He makes puns, everything he says rhymes, and it's a really cool thing in the base game, because you're like, oh shit, this guy is actually really sinister and fucked up. You know what I mean? And so, like, as you start to learn his darker side, when you finally meet him and see how sadistic he is, but you still saw him like the husk was left. Like he was like a teeny puppet. None of that shit that you see there. And so, even though technically you've already seen him die, this is in the past, you're seeing him back when he was at, yeah, I agree.
Now, our guest of honor, Leia Florence Moran, takes the stage one more time.
And everybody speaks about him in hushed whispers. And now you can see why, because he was ridiculously powerful. And he would just randomly kill people. He would call them on the phone, and if they couldn't answer his questions,
Soul is here, my soul is
He would ask people questions, and if they couldn't answer, he would kill them if they got it wrong. That's why he became the king of riddles. Because he was sadistic. Like you can see, he makes a fucking game of it. And it's almost kind of like a Joker Batman thing, because in the game, you meet this guy called Vanini, and he's a genius inventor. He is the one who put the Grand Covenant, the laws that all puppets have, like they can't lie, on the puppets, because when he was a little kid, Arlecchino murdered his parents in front of him, and then he spared Vanini, not because he liked Vanini, but because he was curious to see what a devastating loss would do to that to a little kid. The same way, you know, like, he's goading her to save her protege, because he's about the game for him. He's fucking sadistic. And just one more of the ways of the plot's really great. And it's like Batman and Joker, because Vanini became a brilliant inventor who works with his butler puppet, like Alfred. So he's almost like this game's Joker. Obviously not like a ripoff or anything, but it's fucking great. And over the course of the game, it's handled really well. Because he goes from, oh, this guy who's silly in rhymes, to, oh my god, this guy's fucking evil. But you still only saw him when he's like a decayed husk. Now you're seeing him at the height of his power. And yeah, imagine like a regular person seeing this guy in the white jacket with his fucking knives pop up in the dark. That's what he would do. And he would rip them up and leave their bodies corpses. Like, he killed a lot of people. Well, that's awesome.
A human is only truly honest when their life is on the line. Time to exit my stage.
And that's what I mean when I say the game story gets so much better as it goes through. Because when you play through the game, like I said, he seems jovial, silly even. And he gradually reveals a darker mask. Okay, baby. Oh my god.
Dread into your eyes that will haunt you forever.
Good to see you, baby. All right. Just finding a new that's they kill my since fucking deal and do one. Yeah, pretty much. Ah, you fucker. Plus, I just love like or their dialogue. It's like you're seeing a whole rivalry come to a head between her and him. Yeah, honestly, I seem to have the most success with the greatsword. God, his attacks. Fuck. Alright, motherfucker. Oh shit. Wow. That's fucking awesome. Tag team. Fuck, that's cool. Come on, don't. I don't think it's the end of the DLC, though. I really don't. I think there's more. Holy shit! Oh, that was fucking sick! Oh my god! Oh, dude.
It was fun while it lasted.
That was fucking incredible.
Thank you. It's yours now.
Oh, fuck yeah.
All this time, I wondered why you look so familiar. And now I know.
And so Jax Geppetto, wanted to test the process of transferring someone's soul to a puppet to save his son or bring his son back to
I
life,
believe in you.
but he didn't.
Carry on. Don't forget, this is your story now.
He wanted to test it out without damaging his son, so he used Romeo as the first test subject. He was dead. He was dying anyway. What? There's stuff after? There are stories that, however minutely, have been altered by your actions. Yeah, Geppetto. What? That's super fucking cool. So, like, the stuff I did in the past, some of it affected and changed it in the present. Photo of the Tree of Friendship. Looks to be a tree in the front garden of Cat City Hall. No! Oh, no. No. I think I know what's gonna be there. Oh, fuck, it's her!
You came. I knew you would. So happy to see you again. Friends always meet again. So I'll wait for you. Again at the world's end. Farewell. My forever friend. Who looks like my dear Carlo.
No! No! Holy fucking shit! That's his sister! That fucking girl, that was Carlos' sister? They never talked about him having a sister. So he put her in a little puppet too? They talked about a girl called Camilla dying. But they never said that he put her in a fucking puppet. A little one, I guess, because she's a little girl. Dude, what the fuck? And this thing right here says, "Will you be my friend?" This was in the base game, and I remember seeing this tree and thinking, huh? And all along they were teasing the DLC. Dude, that gives me fucking goosebumps. That actually makes me fucking super sad. And he looks like Carlo, remember? So she didn't know that was her brother. She just knew that he looked like Carlo, and she said, "You're reminding me of a friend." Fuck. That's... Oh, that's... That's really fucking sad. So he didn't just lose his son, he lost his daughter too. Wow. And then the last thing I got from her was a secret key. So I'm kind of curious to see what's in there. Oh, and I need to try her weapon. I got her outfit and her weapon. I wanted to try her weapon, but I was so caught up in like the moment of the DLC that I was just... What? Well, that's fucking cool. I'll follow that for right now. I'll come back and try her weapon in a second. I really want to see where that leads. Frozen time. Oh, it's called Frozen Time. Oh, shit.
The painting. This must have been Leah's room. Who knew her memories were so close?
Yep, see? You can see it's Carlo, Romeo, and her playing.
My dearest Carlo, listening to this song always reminds me of you. Do you remember the time we all gathered to play this piece together? We were happy then. They were precious, if all too short moments of happiness. Perhaps those times were so precious because of their brevity. Why is it that we humans always look for more when happiness is already in our grasp? I couldn't appreciate what we had then. But that wasn't because I found you tiresome. After breaking ties with the Monad family, I was lost. I could barely take care of myself. So taking responsibility for you and Romeo, it was more than I could bear at the time. But in the end, you two saved me. You washed away all the spite and hatred in my heart. Legendary stalker. A worthless title. That cruel end should never have been your fate. It was only when I held your pale, cold face in my hands that I understood that we should have stayed together. That I should never have left the two of you. But now you belong to the past. I shouldn't cry. It happens to us all. Eventually, I will join you there as well. No one lives forever. So in time, we will meet again. And in that moment, my wish is that I get to sit with you as the light of the sunrise washes over us, and we share a love together. Your teacher, Leia.
Wow, that's really fucking sad. Like, really, really sad. She, found out her family was into some fucked up shit. And so she left the family. You find a letter talking about how she left, and she distanced herself from Carlo and them because she needed the time to herself. But while she was busy trying to find herself, Carlo got sick with the plague and died. And she was so sad that she wasn't there for him when he died. So the whole time she was like, not you, not again. Wow, that actually really makes me emotional. That hits me in the feels. Wow, that's really cool. It has a new unique finisher too. Yeah. Well, it's just, for me personally, it takes a lot to get to me and make me emotional in a story. Wow. Holy shit. Oh my god, that's so fucking cool. Her weapon is fucking amazing. Her outfit's cool too. Oh, you can even wear a mask. Let me check the trophies, see if there's any I missed. Oh shit, that's right. Fuck. Hold on. Totally forgot. I got a record from her that I can listen to. I want to listen to that. Because the music in this game is really great. And I think that song in particular is gonna be fucking sick.
Close your eyes and listen up. Everyone's paying attention to you. You look so sad. You don't have to be so wise. Feel a bit of your hurt. Carry on. Please forget about your past fears and trust yourself now. No turning back. Just keep the flame alive inside of you. And there's no need for tears. Look into yourself. Don't cry no more. If you're here, we are not scared anymore. I know that we will be the last survivors. Never give up, it won't be that easy. Keep yourself up, I know that you will always be. Because you're the chosen one. Don't cry no more.
You can't play them whenever you you can play them at the hotel as much as you want, yeah, but you can't only at the hotel.
Don't cry no more. If you're here, we are not scared anymore. Don't cry no more. If you're here, we are not scared anymore. Don't cry no more. If you're here, we are not scared anymore.
Fucking anxiety. It said I could put a golden rose somewhere. Golden rose that I got. I'm trying to figure out where to put it. I might have to Google it. Oh, I think it's the record player. I see it just now in the picture. I'm trying to see what else that does.
I just want safe, that's why I should...
Welcome to...
I'm sorry, like, it's just... Honestly, that DLC was fucking amazing. There might be more I haven't seen, but I've seen the gist of it. And that was fucking outstanding. Yeah. Pretty much. There's still some other stuff to do, I'm sure. I'll sleep with you. I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom real quick.
Hey, they're probably okay, right? I mean, Leia is the legendary stalker after all. Surely they made it out just fine. But if not, there may be another thread of fate at work here. And it's up to us to cut it. Because there has to be a way. We may not be able to save everyone, but we can find a way to save those left. So let's find it. Together.
Wow, that's a really cool touch. I just now noticed that. When I walk through the puddle of blood, I actually carry it on my boots and carry it with me through the snow. I also want to see some. See, giant shipwreck. You walk on the ice, and you, when you originally come here, it's nighttime, and you can see the aurora borealis. Yeah, it's one of the ways you can tell this game is a labor of love. And it's also cool how the lighting changes throughout the game, too. Because when you come here, it's pitch black. You know what I mean? So when you revisit old areas, they look different. When I was fighting with her, running up the hill, at one point she's like, "Wait, that lamp." And then she just stopped talking about it. So I think there might be some there I want to look at. I'm pretty sure they've probably hidden a couple of secrets. I'm sure people haven't even found them all. You know what I mean? The DLC's only been out a couple days. I did not like how it was sad for her dying or whatever. But one thing I really like is she realized it was Carlo at the end. So she felt so bad about, him dying. And she saw that he was back, so she did have some peace there. Ah, you bitch. Not a big deal. I'll just use my regular gear until I get that fully upgraded. Fuck it, I'm just gonna run by him. Really, asshole? Was it here? Clutch! Fuck! And no big deal. 1 second, I'm gonna be right back.